Hello everybody, welcome to Know Your Money. I'm Bronwyn Weiner.
And I'm Craig Finch, and we are from Growth Financial Planning. We hope you enjoy our podcast.
Hi everybody, we have Vaughan from Discovery, who does technical marketing for Vitality. Hello Craig, hello Vaughan. Thank you so much for joining us.
Vaughan, nice to see you again.
Likewise.
I think you're going to chat about your favorite subject.
Sleep, yes. I'm ready to sleep. Yeah, I mean, we introduced sleep as a fundamental part of the Vitality program heading into 2026. So I think it's worth unpacking.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe you can just let us know what made you bring that into Vitality, and then why sleep is so important and what you guys see.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know, I think oftentimes when people think about health, they sort of think about eating well and exercising as these key pillars of health. And although those are key pillars of health, the truth is that sleep is the foundation that underlies these pillars. So for us, introducing sleep to the program was a no-brainer. I mean, we've done tons of research into sleep, and the findings are actually pretty shocking. What we found is globally, 1 in 3 people aren't sleeping well, and the effects of that are actually very drastic. You know, poor sleep habits result in a 22% higher risk of dying sooner. It also results in a 70% higher risk of diabetes, 41% higher risk of obesity, a 20% higher risk of showing depressive symptoms. So sleep is really fundamental to overall health. And as you know, at Vitality, our goal is to make people healthier. So it felt like we really needed to introduce sleep as part of our program.
Amazing. And what can a person do to get better sleep?
Yeah. That's a very good question. So, I mean, we actually released a white paper last year on the power of sleep. So I'm hoping that the overview I give will make people excited enough to go and read that white paper.
We can put it in the link of our episode.
But essentially, good sleep is made up of 3 components. I think oftentimes when we think about good sleep, we just think about duration. We just think, am I sleeping my 7 to 8 hours? And duration is an important part of good sleep. However, another important part is actually sleep consistency. So that's, do you go to bed at the same time every evening? And I think that's something that people often overlook, but that's an extremely important part. And then lastly is the quality of your sleep. So it's not just about going to bed at a consistent time and sleeping for 7 to 8 hours, but it's also trying to get high quality sleep. So, I mean, very high level, if you're getting more than 15% of REM sleep, and the same for deep sleep, we consider that as good quality sleep. So I think that's important to point out that sleep is multifaceted. It's not just how long you sleep, but there's also a consistency element and a quality element to it.
So should you go to sleep at the same time every night? That's a big...
Yes, correct. So, I mean, obviously, we know we're not robots, unfortunately. So if you can just try and keep it within a 1 hour window of your usual sleep.
What's the reason for that?
It's just more how your body sort of releases its hormones and your, circadian rhythm. It just helps your body kind of just know when to do what, if there's that consistency.
It's like a routine.
Exactly.
And I've heard a lot of chat about shift work. Some people, that's quite bad for you. Yeah, is that the consistency of sleep?
Exactly. So I think
always sleep at the right time.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's where the complexity comes in with people who work shifts, where you can find some nights you're working night shift for 4 nights, other times you're working mornings. So in that case, obviously consistency of sleep becomes a lot more difficult. But then, you know, in those cases, it becomes important to prioritize duration and then quality of sleep. As I said, it is multifaceted. So ideally, you do well in all 3, but if you can't, because life happens, you know, trying to sleep as well as you can by considering those 3 facets.
So now if you find out that you're not getting that deep sleep or that REM sleep, have you guys got tips or tools of how a person can actually change that?
Yes, 100%. So in the paper, actually, which we'll share in the link, they have this beautiful diagram which actually almost plots out how to set up your day to achieve optimal sleep. If I'm thinking some of the stuff is like to kind of limit caffeine intake to 4 hours before bed, to not have screen times 2 hours before bed. So that's the thing. I think oftentimes we think, I'm just going to show up at night and have an amazing night's sleep. But it's actually, you have to be preparing for a good night's sleep as soon as you wake up. And I think the paper really unpacks that and will give a lot of
screen time, is that television and time on your cell phone?
Yes, correct.
Your computer,
your laptop, everything.
Anything like that?
Yeah.
2 hours before you sleep?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what do you do for those 2 hours? Listen to podcasts?
Yeah, listen to podcasts, speak to people, think about life.
Journal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So now how do you know you're sleeping badly?
The one way to know is through sleep scores. And I think actually one of the exciting stuff we introduced to the program was our very own Vitality Sleep Score. So essentially this is a score 0 to 100 that tells members how they're sleeping. So anything above a 75 is considered a good sleep score. And what makes our sleep score different to, let's say, an Apple or a Garmin sleep score is that we actually factor in your personal information. So we'll look at stuff like your age, your gender, your chronic conditions, physical activity levels, and give you a personalized sleep score. So you and I could have the exact same, I guess, sleep trend, same amount of REM sleep, same duration and whatever, but we might have slightly different sleep scores just given that we're different people.
Yeah.
And the score, is it a questionnaire that you fill out? Is that how you know?
No, so actually you can track your score in 3 different ways. So the first one is you can use a smartwatch. So there you can either use an Apple, Samsung or Garmin smartwatch. You would see they have their own sleep score that would then feed through to us and we would do our adjustments and give you our sleep score. A second way, in cases where people might not have a smartwatch, is you can actually just track your sleep through your phone. So we developed this interesting technology where we can essentially estimate your duration of sleep and when you went to sleep just by looking at how you interact with your phone. I mean, I know...
How do you switch that on and how do you let Discovery read that?
Yeah, so it's just through the app. So you'll just have to accept permissions and then that's all you do. Nothing else. So yeah, I mean, I know we chatted about earlier, ideally you limit screen time 2 hours before, but we know in the modern world, oftentimes the phone is the last thing we look at before we go to bed and the first thing we look at when we wake up. So yeah. And then the third way, which is something I'm really excited about, is actually tracking sleep through our new partner, which is Aura. Aura is essentially a smart ring that tracks your health. So it tracks stuff like readiness, stress levels, and so forth. But it's really known to be best in class for sleep. And we've partnered with them exclusively in South Africa to actually bring Aura to our members.
Okay. So physically you put a ring on and that finds out, or that monitors your sleep pattern?
Yes, 100%. Okay. So it actually tells you, how long you slept, when you fell asleep. It tells you the quality of your sleep, the percentage of REM.
Does it need to charge, or how does it work?
It does need to charge, but it charges extremely quick. So, I mean, on a full charge, it lasts about a week or so. And when you charge it, it's like an hour and it's fully charged. So,
do you wear it during the day or only when you sleep?
I mean, I wear it during the day because I find the insights very helpful because it also tells you sort of stress levels. It tells you your breathing
So how are you doing now in this podcast?
I'll have to look at the app. But yeah, so for me personally, I wear it throughout the day. I think it also then just helps you see sort of how you're performing during the day and how, the stuff that come up during the day are affecting you.
Is it available now?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is.
So, and you can switch it on now and you can track it now.
100%. Okay. And there's sort of 2 ways in which people can get it. So they can either fully fund an Aura ring, which is, I guess, sort of like Apple, where you just achieve, in this case, your weekly sleep goals. If you achieve 4 of them in a month, and then you can fully fund it. And in cases where people don't want to go the fully funded route, they can also get a 25% off upfront.
And is sleep only at night, or what about some people have a nap in the afternoon or what?
So, I mean, Aura does factor in your naps during the day, but I think it's important to make sure that you keep naps to a minimum because that then has a ripple effect on your sleep at night. But it does factor in naps.
Okay.
And can you go into a specific store to buy those, or?
So you can get them you can see the size of them in our stores, in the Discovery stores. But the sort of journey we have for members is very seamless. So you can just log into your Discovery profile and you'll see the journey is very seamless. To figure out your size, they actually send you a sizing kit beforehand. I think there's rings with about 12 different sized rings in there. So you can test it for a day, see which size works for you, and then choose your size. And then within a couple of days, you should have your ring delivered to you.
All on the app?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the website as well? Or
yes, on the website
both
too.
of those. Okay.
Yeah.
And you get points for getting a ring, or you get points for the sleeping?
Yeah, you get points for sleeping well.
Okay.
So if you achieve a sleep score of 75 or more and you tracked at least 25 nights of sleep in a particular month, then you'll get 500 points.
And have they increased the points, or are the points still the same?
The points threshold. Yeah, that's exactly the same.
So this is even another way of getting points.
100%.
For sleeping.
Exactly.
Okay.
And look, again, we know that health is holistic, so we want members to be able to reach the coveted diamond status, whether you value or prioritize exercising or sleep or eating well. So it's just another way in which members can reach diamond.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time and all your insights.
Cool.
It's been awesome having
really
you here.
Thank you
very
so much.
This was
Appreciate
fun.
it.
Chat soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you have enjoyed this podcast, would like to subscribe, please visit our website, www.growthfp.co.za. The information we have provided in this podcast is our personal opinion. For more detailed information, please discuss your financial situation with a financial planner.